time to go nuts for donuts. All right, we'll put in the sacrificial donut. Moment of silence for the sacrificial donut. He'll tell us if it's too hot or if it's just right. Oh, sacrificial donut says, send in everybody else. Good to go. Where we lose the arm hair right there. Questionable moves. Swim him around a little bit. What do you think of that?
The donut.
Looks pretty good.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Brian.
And we own Campfire Bay Resort and have been doing so for 22 years now.
That's right. Campfire Bay, it's a medium-sized resort. We're gonna treat you like you're at a small resort, but you're gonna have access to large resort amenities and facilities. But still, you're gonna be treated like family, and you're gonna have more of that boutique experience. The atmosphere at Campfire Bay is very family-oriented. That was really our goal when we bought the resort. Coming from a camping background, both of us spent a lot of time in our teens and even early 20s working at summer camps. We definitely came in with a mentality of people need things to do together, especially families. So that's why we came up with a lot of the different activities that we do.
We used to go to a different resort every year because Dennis is always looking for the fish. But when our kids and grandkids started coming, there was activities for them, so they didn't have to say, I'm bored. We had an ice cream social, and then we did rockets on Monday, and we did jewelry on Tuesday, and made birdhouses on Wednesday. There was always something to do. As far as I know, we hadn't been to any place else that had activities like that.
I mean, every year there's something more, something better, and there's activities for the kids, there's things for all ages.
Sometimes you'll get these weeks where not only do obviously the parents and people get to know each other, but we have these little kid gangs of these kids that, all ages are following each other around.
The Resort Friends group is pretty fun to see.
It's really cool to see how different people that come back every year have made friends with other people that now that becomes their CBR family that they look forward to seeing every summer, how it becomes like that little mini village, if you will, each week with its own villagers. We have a communal fire pit, so we get the fire going every night. We provide the firewood, and then we do the larger activities that involve everybody, like the ice cream social or the donuts we make over the fire that you draw even more people in.
Campfire Donuts is something we've been doing for a long time. We get down at the fire and my dad brings out an old cast iron pan that's older than I am, and we make these little campfire donuts over the fire, and everybody gathers around. We get the table set up. It's 3 different types of sugars. The family comes around. You get just kids lining up waiting for their campfire donuts. It's a fun tradition, and the kids and parents both definitely enjoy it.
Campfire Bay hasn't always been called Campfire Bay. It was originally built in 1947 by CJ and Pearl Johnson. Clarence built a lot of buildings around here, and I think he built several resorts in the area during his time. And he, I think, also owned a lumber mill. So he was milling his own lumber, building his own resorts and a lot of other businesses around here. So it was originally CJ Johnson's resort. We bought it in 2002. When we first bought the resort, it was a lot of the original buildings. Some of them were not in the best shape. The story that I've used to describe it was a phrase that my grandpa used to use. He used to say, yeah, this is the best hammer I've ever had. It's only had 2 handles and 3 heads. And a lot of the buildings were kind of like that, where they had been remodeled and repurposed and moved
Cobbled
around.
together.
Cobbled together, but we removed a lot of the original buildings. Actually, All of the original buildings are now gone, and we've rebuilt every building on the property. I do most of the work myself with crews that I hire. Friends and family have worked with me. Cael has worked with me to build several of these buildings. It's also given us the ability to move to year-round business there. So we get more groups into the late fall, all through the winter, early spring that we can accommodate. We've been doing it ourselves for over 20 years. Now it's a joy to maintain compared to what it was like before. If you would have told us 20 years ago what would be here today, we wouldn't have believed it.
Fish Trap Lake is a glacier-formed lake, so it's kind of interesting that we have Lake Superior agates all over the place here. And you can often find them just walking around.
Yeah.
Fish Trap Lake is 1,163 acres, and at its max depth, it gets down to about 42 feet. It's primarily an average depth of about 20 to 25. You'll find a lot of rocky points and silty bottom, plenty of weed lines, great places to fish for bass, walleye, pike, bluegills. In spring, we have excellent crappie fishing. If you come during the winter, we have excellent ice fishing for all of those different species as well. There are 5 islands on the lake, and we own one of them, called Sams Island. There's a creek connecting us to our neighboring lake, Lake Alex. That's how those nice, fun muskies get in here. There have been some awesome muskie caught on this lake. We probably have about 9-10 pairs of residential loons that will come here and breed every summer.
It's a medium-sized lake, but in a lot of ways it fishes like a bigger lake than what it really is because of the unique shape of it. It's got all that shoreline, all those islands. There's a lot of structure. And because it is a glacial moraine area, there's a lot of elevation around the lake. Big hills kind of pop up out of nowhere.
And we like to say that we are on the quiet side of Brainerd. So
Right. Monday through Friday,
yeah,
it's
like
pretty quiet
It's
here.
just our guests pretty much on the lake.
It's very nostalgic. I feel like my parents have done a really good job of nailing that down. It's supposed to evoke a different time, just kind of a throwback to even just 10, 20 years ago when things were just a little slower, a little simpler.
The thing that brings me the most joy is the relationships that I see built between guests and guests that come year after year because this is their happy place. To be a part of that, you know, I feel like I've created a safe, enjoyable retreat, respite for people. That is what, you know, fires me up. And the relationships I form with them too. I went out on a kayak ride yesterday with a guest that's been coming for 10 years now. It was kind of like kayak counseling, and I only see her once a year, but it's that, yeah, those relationships that are important.
Heather and Brian, they treat everyone like they're part of their family, everyone that comes here. They have that incredible gift of making everybody feel like you made their day by showing up. And that is a wonderful gift.
It's really rewarding when you meet somebody new and then, you know, you get to the end of the week and they're telling you, oh, we're coming back next year. And then the next year they're coming back next year. And eventually you're at, you know, a decade or 15 years.
I didn't know how lucky I was to actually live here every day. That actually brings me to a quote on a picture that we have hanging in our house that says, if you're lucky to live on a lake, you're lucky enough.
I could stay here the whole summer and be satisfied to be here.
I'm glad I'm retired. I have to enjoy all this.
Yeah.
It truly is my happy place. Feels like home, so.
Come, join us at the campfire.
Come, join us at the campfire.
Come join us at the campfire. You'll have a great time, and then we'll hope to see you again next year.
All right, we're interviewing right now, Cael.
Okay.
Spell your name for me.
C-A-E-L.
Start with a
They tell me it's Gaelic, Scottish or whatever. I don't know.
Yes. Oh man. All worth it. Kyle paid us in donuts.
Adventure, take one.
La di da di da.
How many grips does it take to weigh down a pontoon? 3. Donuts.
I know. That was so scary. That was scary. Good.
You kept your composure.
You did the right thing.
Well,
I don't know what that was, but you did it.
Well, I think everybody just got frightened and ran to the back.
I was just thinking about
That's good behind the scenes.